Hello everyone, and today we're going to be taking apart and dissecting this $600 metal detector from eBay. Supposedly is meant to detect copper, silver, gold and diamonds. I'm very skeptical. So I'm going to take this guy apart and risk $600 so that you guys can know whether or not this thing is a scam or not. I'm going to start by taking all the screws out from the front here. Which are very loose actually. I'm surprised at how loose these screws are. They weren't tight at all. They're just regular Phillips screws. Nothing fancy, no star screws or anything. If this is a scam, they probably would have done better to use a screw with a weird screw head to stop people from taking it apart, should I find that it's nothing inside. So I'll go ahead and take these top two out. They're not too long, but they are decent little screws. Nothing fancy. I don't even think this thing is actually waterproof, judging by the massive hole in the side here where the wire comes out, which is a bit weird because it being a metal detector you would expect that it would be waterproof because you would be taking it places where it is likely to get wet, probably. But no waterproof seal on this guy. Which is another bit of a red flag, I guess. I'm going to take the third one out, and we've got the last little fourth one hiding in here. If I can just really quickly spin this guy out. Out you come. We want to see what's inside you. Is there anything of value, or is it all a scam? We will find out soon. Alright, that's the last screw on the back. Hopefully this thing should just come off now. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so on first inspection, looks like there is a little control panel here. There's a little LED display. There's a few batteries and such. There's a push button switch. It looks like this whole body is actually made up of two separate parts, which is interesting to know. I've already gone ahead and disconnected the antennas from the front here, and it's got this weird little stick that sticks out the front, and supposedly the stick is meant to point in the direction of the valuables that you're trying to find. Don't ask me how that works. We hopefully will soon find out exactly what's going on inside this guy. I'm not super convinced that it's fake yet, but I am taking it apart because I have my suspicions that I have been scammed. I'm going to take this guy out as well. I'm just going to put it down and use both hands because that's going to make it a whole lot faster to get this thing undone. You can turn it a lot faster with both hands on it. Here we go. I also don't really know what the purpose of there being a laser on this thing is, because I mean the camera doesn't do anything with the laser. It's almost like it's just for show, which is another reason I was slightly suspicious. Also, there is a camera. There is a literal camera built in to this metal detector, which serves no real purpose. It's not like it displays where the valuables are or anything. It's, well, and basically completely useless. The only use that I can think of that you might have a camera and a laser on here for is, I don't know, so you can see the direction which this little knob thing is pointing, which you can already see without a camera, so that's another red flag. Anyway, time to take this guy off and have a look inside. Okay. So one immediate red flag that I've just noticed is this antenna right over here. This is the cable that the antenna is supposedly meant to hook onto. Isn't even connected to anything. It is quite literally disconnected and not connected to anything at all. There also seems to be two more wires coming out of this camera which go nowhere, which is also another bit of a red flag. And it seems I'm getting a beeping noise. There's two copper wires going into the little rod here that supposedly moves. I don't know how that works, but I'm very curious to see what on earth's going on here. So I'm going to just take the top off real quick here. to see how this thing exactly works. Okay, so I've taken the top off. It seems there is a massive length of cable inside here. Just random cable that I don't even know why this is still in here. It looks like they've gone ahead and they've taken like a webcam or something and they couldn't even be bothered shortening the wires, so they just bunched them all up and stuffed them in here. I'm going to go ahead and snip these little cable ties because I'm not particularly worried about doing that. They're just cable ties. Shouldn't affect anything too badly here. And I'm just going to have a wee look and see whether or not this thing would even be capable of detecting any sort of metal. Okay, so it looks like this is just parts from a camera, and then that goes to a display. I can take this out. Goes to the useless camera that does nothing. There seems to be an 8-pack of rechargeable batteries inside here. There is also a weird looking little something over here. I don't know what that is. I think that was supposed to be a buzzer that beeps every now and then. I don't know what is going on in here. This certainly is very suspicious. I'm going to just really quickly follow this antenna cable. Okay, so the antenna cable goes to this little circuit board here. Now, in order to figure out whether or not this thing is actually legit, I would probably have to do a little bit of reverse engineering and look into the circuitry of an actual metal detector. But there's no cable going to this antenna, so that's a massive weird thing going on over here. I'm just going to pull all the circuitry out now. As you can see, this disconnects. And supposedly this thing is meant to spin around in a circle when you're over the top of gold or any other metal you're searching for. But it wouldn't appear that this thing is even connected to anything. It's literally just a bearing that spins around. So that's a bit weird as well. I don't know what this is. I'm pretty sure this is just a buzzer. And it beeps randomly. It looks like we've got some hot glue, some black hot glue. Not very professional. Is this a scam? I probably would assume that yes, this was a scam. I've been scammed. I just don't see how this could possibly detect diamonds and gold and copper and silver. There is a very small chance that I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that this was just a scam. Given the amount of useless items attached to this metal detector that have no contribution to actually detecting anything, I can assume from there that this is all a hoax. The so-called rod, which is meant to detect the metal, is literally just 2 copper wires going down inside here. I'm not sure what's in here. I'm not really too worried about destroying it now because I'm fairly certain that it is a scam. There's an antenna, it looks like, which is the same antenna as the one that's connected here, going down the middle of the tube. And the tube itself, which is supposedly meant to detect things, I'm just going to pull this out because I don't trust it at all. There's hot glue in here to stop me from pulling it out. So if I just break that, should be able to pull this out. Alright. So I'm not really sure if this is an actual thing or not. Now that I've pulled it out, I'm just going to take this apart. This is just foam padding. I don't imagine this would have any contribution to the actual workings of the detector. And it looks like all this is an inductor. This is literally just an inductor. It's copper wire wrapped around a ferrite core is what it appears to be. And that, I am seriously doubtful, has any role in detecting metal. If we just, yeah, it's just a ferrite core with copper wrapped around it. It's an inductor, that's all it is. In fact, it probably wouldn't even be a very good inductor. I am now almost 100% sure that this is a scam. So if you see something that looks like this on the internet, and you think, whoa, that's within my price range, and it looks like it's cool and it would work and help me find various different metals. This is all it is. It's copper wire wrapped around a ferrite core. This is like the sort of thing you would find in a radio that just picks up radio frequencies. I'm just going to pull all this off because I'm not particularly worried about wrecking this anymore. I've been had. I've been had. I can safely say I've been had. As a ferrite core with a copper wire around it. That's not going to legitimately move this. As for the fact that this little piston thingy here is supposed to move in the direction of whatever, there is no way that an inductor is going to move this. The only thing that's going to move this is if you bump it, or well, I don't even know. Maybe it heats up and bends. This is don't buy this. Don't buy this. That's all I can say about that. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Goodbye.